Hey, sis, and welcome to a brand new episode of Her Renewed Mind. I'm so glad that you're here. And so today I'm in reflection mode. When I'm recording this, it's a few hours since I left my daughter's school. Kyla, shout out to Kyla. So this is dedicated to her, but I know that what I share with you is, I believe it's going to be for you too as well. And so she is at a local private school, Louisville Collegiate School. I can shout out the school, it's all good. And this is her 10th year there. And this year happens to be her senior year. Those of you all who know me and know Kyla know that it's super surreal that we're already here, the 24-25 school year. I remember when I got on Facebook, I think I had Kyla already when I got on Facebook. It had been around a while, but um, she was already born. I don't remember what year it was I got on Facebook, but I want to say my daughter was already alive. But I created, when she started kindergarten, I created an album on Facebook and I named it like class of 2025/2029 or 30 or 31 because I was like, okay, if she goes to college, no, this is not. Let me tell the whole truth. I wasn't thinking, oh, she'll go for undergrad like 5 or 6 years. If she decided to continue to graduate school, then those could be the extra years on there. If you all catching what I'm saying. Because that's just the mindset I had. I'm like, okay, I know she's going to graduate in 2025. I had already counted up that and the work I was doing at the time and still do college access. So that was in my brain. And so I say all that to say I can hardly believe that we are in the 24-25 school year and that she will be graduating next May of 2025, which is close. So anyway, a tradition that collegiate has, I don't know how long it's been going on, but for a while, is that seniors, all the seniors give a senior speech throughout the school year, usually starts in September. And it's opportunity for them to reflect on their career at collegiate or life up to that point and share something of value to the student body, to the upper school student body, to the staff, the faculty members. And it's a personal story, their personal journey, and however they want to shape that. I have sat in on quite a few senior speeches myself because I worked at collegiate for 2 school years. I started working there when Kyla was a freshman. And so to think about when she started high school or upper school there, and I was working there, which was a whole blessing. And I remember thinking, this is going to be my baby just a few years from now. And today I got to experience her, give her senior speech. And she asked me to give the introduction, which I was shocked. I really was because she had said all along that she was going to have her granddad, my dad, give her introduction, which I thought would have been brilliant. He would have been funny. But this year came around and she said, I want you to introduce me. And I'm like, okay, I got it. So Kyla talked about her journey with math. I'm not going to give the whole speech because it's supposed to be on YouTube. So if that link is up, by the time I post this, I will share the link in the comments, and I would love for you guys to check her out. If not, I'll share Collegiate's YouTube channel and then you can click on it and find her speech from September 17th, 2024, even if you're listening to this years later. And so I just want to highlight some of the things that Kyla said. Again, I'm not going to give the whole speech, but it was so powerful because, again, the senior speech is an opportunity for students to reflect on their time in high school, on their life up to that point, and really pull out lessons from that. And I am so proud of you, Kyla, if you ever listen to this. I'm so proud of you. You stood with poise, confidence, conviction. It was heartfelt, and just how your perspective about your performance in math, through your time with collegiate math. It's funny because she was like, it's been 10 years of Kyla and collegiate math, which is so, so cute. Of course, she has had math since she started school. And even before, I'm sure I was doing, simple addition with her before she started school. But just to hear her reflect and put on a new lens about her, just how she showed up for math, because of course that's our mom. I remember those moments when it was a struggle, and particularly last year, and I think because it's so fresh, and she was in algebra 2, and even geometry in sophomore year was a struggle as well. And it's like, okay, as a mom, how do you support your child as she's continuing to grow older and really doesn't want the support that I want to give, right? Like, how do you navigate that when, I'm also looking at her grades in the online platform, not trying to I told her I'm like, I'm not going to be on Veracross, which is the name of the system that Collegiate uses to post grades and assignments and all the good stuff. So I'm not going to be on there every day, but, I am going to check it. And then I want us to have a conversation. And Kyla didn't want to always have that conversation, which I get it, right? If you're not feeling confident about your performance, you really don't want to talk about it. And then I'm mom, right? So sometimes you're just trying to get through it. So something that Kyla said that made me pause is she said, I'm thankful for the F's and I'm also thankful for the A's. And I'm like, wow, for her to say that and own that just blew my mind, right? Because how many of us can really say that we're thankful for the F's and also thankful for the A's? It's when you look back, but I not only look back, but put on the proper lens, the proper perspective. And I think you all know where I'm going, is that we we really benefit, being mindful of my word choice, from putting on and becoming aware, I should say, of God's perspective and how he sees us, how he sees what you're walking in, what you're walking through, your feelings, all of those things. And it's okay to process yourself, how you feel, what's going on, um, in a real way, right? Not to sugarcoat, because if you're walking through a challenge, you're walking through a challenge, and you may not use the word challenge, you may use another word, right? And it's okay. It's okay to feel that, but don't stay there. Don't stay there. And so watching Kyla deliver her senior speech and talking about her journey with math and her being thankful for the F's and the A's was her not staying in a place of condemnation, in a place of shame, in a place of sadness for long about her performance with math. And I'm so grateful that we're on the other side of that. And yes, she is taking math this year. And actually last week told me, Mom, I got a 95 on a quiz. And I was like, yeah, of course, right? And I just think about, I'm kind of speaking for my daughter because I can kind of do that because I know her. But I know that she is understanding more the support that she has, right? If anything, she knows I have support. I can ask for help. When I went to the back to school night, it's like an open house. Y'all remember open houses back in the day? My parents showed up at every single open house. And I showed up at every single open house except for, no, I've been to all of her open houses. Praise God. Before collegiate and at collegiate. Um, and her, one of the support administrators, Kyla, has worked with her ever since she started upper school. And she runs the academic lab. So it's a period of time during the day that students who need extra assistance in whatever subject it may be, they'll get more of that one-on-one attention through the support administrator. And I went up to her. She was like, oh, Kyla reached out to me. She doesn't have to report to her anymore. And we talked about that last year and just said, we're going to monitor how things go. But just know if you need the extra support, you can always go to the academic lab because it's actually at the same time of her study hall period. So she can go in there at any time, actually. So that is a blessing. And so she's like, Kyla reached out to me and I'm so glad she did. And she was asking about getting extra assistance for a test. And we were able to have the conversation. She just encouraged her. You know, a lot of students like staying in the math class with the teacher because she's really good about helping. And so I kind of just lightly mentioned that to Kyla, and she was like, oh yeah, I talked to her about that, and I am going to stay in the class and receive that support that my teacher gives. And that just blessed me so much because, you know, Kyla knows that she has support there, and she was able to come to that conclusion and make that good decision. And I didn't come to her saying you should stay in class, even though in my mind I'm like, okay, sounds like that's the best route. But I just kind of lightly mentioned it, that we had this conversation, and Kyla was like, oh yeah, I talked to her. And I'm like, look at my baby. Look at my baby handling her business. So Kyla, I'm so proud of you for knowing that you have support and actually utilizing that support. And so I want you to know, dear sis, that you are not alone. You are not alone. Listen, if you need to email me, if you need to email me or comment, and we can jump on Messenger or Zoom and have a conversation, let's do it. I actually do offer a free 30-minute vision call. And so go on my website, visionspeakconsulting.com, book that free call, and let's talk about what's going on. And I'd love to pray with you and walk you through praying, and communing with God and hearing his thoughts and perspective on about you, and the perspective that he wants you to see about your challenging situation, or however you would want to describe it. So know you have support. Use the support you have, whether it's a friend, it's a therapist, it's your pastor, right? Your trusted cousin, sister, auntie, right? Your father, right? Like, God is so good. He is about family. We have these connections around us to help encourage and build up and care for one another. So use that support. Use that support. Something else that Kyla said that was such a blessing to me, she said that as her mom, I did not care about the grades on the transcript, but I cared more about her heart. And that blessed me because that is what I wanted Kyla to know. I wanted her to feel that. Now, in the midst of her being frustrated and sad about how math was going, particularly last year and even sophomore year, I didn't think she was hearing me on that, right? Because things were very emotional and she was high emotions, right? And you all know, if you've been feeling some sort of way and someone comes to you, and they're trying to encourage you as best they can, sometimes you don't want to hear that, right? Because you're engulfed in how you feel. Now I'm raising my hand. I have been there. But to hear her a year later say, I know my mom cares more about my heart than the grades on the transcript. And that is facts. And that is true. That is truth. And it's interesting because in the back of my mind, I even mentioned this when we had a meeting with her college counselor. I just said, I do have a concern about her grades from last year, math class, and the colleges may, just because I've been in this world, want to see how she does her first semester. And so we just talked through that, right? And so that was me just, okay, here's from the college standpoint what I've seen before. I'm trying to look at the lens of her transcript, like how an admissions counselor will look. And then God just had to remind me, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Like, yes, it may be concern of yours. We put it out there, but all is well. All is well. And Kyla's killing it, killing it this school year. She is approaching it with more confidence than I've seen in her. And she's having a killer year. Kyla, you are killing it in every way, in every single way. And I really believe that Kyla understands more about who she is. And when your identity is solid, right, you get to that place of awareness, like, this is me. And I heard her say that the last few weeks when she was talking about her speech and the topic of her speech. And she even said it last night. She's like, I'm glad I did this topic because this is me. And I'm like, listen to my child, right? Like, I've always known that's you, but she had to come to that realization that this was her character, this is who she is. So this is how she's going to speak, and the topic matter made sense for her to share. Very upbeat, very positive, some good reflection, and a charge to students and faculty that your grades don't define you, right? There's more to you than just the letter from a letter grade from a subject in school, right? There's more to you than that challenging situation, but it is a part of your story. And when you take time to reflect, right, you put on those proper lenses of how God would have you see that situation, that circumstance, and even see yourself, man, it's a game changer. And you can count it all joy because you know that you going through that is going to produce you being more wise, more confident, knowing how to persevere. So when the next challenging situation comes, you can say, you know what? Maybe this is something different that I've been through, but I can respond in a more productive way, right? Because I've been through a hard time before. And that's a part of my testimony. That is my testimony. I think about the hard times I had, at the very beginning of having Kyla and being a single mom and the mess that I was in that process early in her life, but still trying to navigate a career. I went back to school, raising Kyla, right? And there was some hard moments. There were moments that I laid on my face here in this room and was so just overcome with sadness and also frustration and disappointment. And I'll never forget Kyla, and she was young. I mean, maybe 3. And she came in. I called her my altar worker because I want to say she laid a blanket over me and basically told me it was going to be okay and that God was with me. It's going to be okay. God is with you. This is me laying that blanket over you, that God is with you and it's going to be okay. He loves you. He is right there with you in it all. And my prayer is that your eyes are open to that awareness that He's got you. He will never leave you or forsake you. Amen. And you could say, you know what? I'm thankful for those F's, those mistakes, those failures. I'm also grateful for the A's and grateful for all the things in between because it's made you better. And actually, it has revealed who you've always been, who you've always been created to be as an image bearer of God, made in His image, made in His likeness, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And there's nothing you can do to change that. Amen. I love you guys. Thank you for allowing me to share what's happening in real time in my life. And it's so good. I'm enjoying watching Kyla enjoy where she is. I am enjoying and I'm celebrating myself, honestly. Where's my pom-pom? Why do I have it buried? I'm celebrating myself. I told, so not only did Kyla give her senior speech, but her close friends, Ashlyn and Azaria, gave their speeches as well. And it was amazing. It was powerful. And I got to hug Ashlyn's mom and say, girl, good job, mama. And she said, girl, good job, mom. And we able to give each other high fives and celebrate one another because we've done the thing, not in our own strength, but with the help of the Lord. So I love you guys. And I will definitely do like another update because this really is a special time for both me and Kyla. I'm like, definitely lift her up because it's her senior year, but it's so powerful because her success, her growth is a testament to what God has done on the inside of me and done for both of us and in both of us. So I'm celebrating. Listen, and shout out to all the parents out there, guardians, caregivers, grandparents, aunts, uncles who have seniors. The class of 2025 is just super special. If you're a parent, guardian, grandparent, aunt, uncle, you care for kids, just period. God bless you. God is with you. He's got you. He's got you. Even to the aunties, He's got you. And He's got those babies that are close to you as well. Remember, they are His first. We get to steward the gifts that they are. And He gives us the wisdom, the strength, the power to do just that. So you got this. You got this, sis. All right. I love you guys. And I'm for real. Listen, we need to talk. We need to connect. Go in the show notes, go in the description box and find that link that says the free vision call. 30-minute call. We can talk about what's on your heart and seek God about the matter so that you can get heavenly strategy and solutions to help you move forward. As well, I do offer Kingdom Life and Strategy coaching sessions. So if you're like, you know what, I already know that I need to work with Dr. Candice for a longer length of time, I also have packages for that where we would meet twice a month for 3 months, so a total of 6 sessions. And so that, listen, you can be all that God has called you to be and do what it is that he's called you to do, because you have goodness on the inside of you that needs to be released. And I believe at a higher level to this earth, because you carry the solution that someone else needs. So it's time to release it. Let's go. I love you. And until next time, peace.